AM Northwest.
On World News Tonight this Saturday, polling out. UN nuclear inspectors will leave North Korea by New Year's Eve. The Bush administration considers its response. Naming names, Baghdad hands over a list of 500 scientists who have worked on weapons of mass destruction. The U.S. hopes they will talk. Cashed out. Benefits end today for nearly 1 million out-of-work Americans, and Congress let it happen. And a royal return. After half a century, the Italian monarchy comes home.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight, Saturday.
Good evening, I'm Bob Woodruff. The nuclear standoff in North Korea grows more ominous tonight. The International Atomic Energy Agency accused North Korea of violating international obligations. The weapons inspectors ordered out of the country now say they will leave by New Year's Eve. And the Bush administration is considering an appeal to the United Nations Security Council. We will have news from the White House in a moment, but we begin with ABC's Mark Litke, who is in Korea.
In the North Korean capital tonight, more signs of defiance. At a government-orchestrated rally, speaker after speaker accused the U.S. of pushing this situation to dangerous levels. And nearly all defended North Korea's right to start up its nuclear program. America cut off fuel shipments to our country, so we need our nuclear plants for energy, not weapons. If that is the case, it will now be nearly impossible to verify, of course. With the international monitors on their way out, the world will soon be in the dark over just what the North is up to. The plants that were mothballed in 1994 in exchange for fuel and economic aid from the U.S. could be up and running again within a couple of months and capable of producing plutonium for nuclear weapons. But most observers here still believe that this is all typical North Korean brinksmanship, playing their nuclear card to get recognition and more aid from the U.S.
They think this is their best leverage on Washington to threaten crisis on the Korean Peninsula. In their mind, it worked in 1994. In their mind, I think they surmise that it should work again.
For their part, South Koreans are so used to the North's belligerence and threats, they feel almost no sense of crisis yet. But there is concern here over just how fast events are moving. Today saw the first small protest by a group of Korean War veterans who fear a nuclear-armed North. And the government felt the need to show its military resolve with a couple of photo opportunities. That's the South's outgoing president with his top Air Force officers and the incoming president meeting the Army. But South Korea still insists this standoff can be resolved through peaceful dialogue. In fact, this coming week could see a flurry of diplomatic activity. An American State Department official is heading this way, and South Korea plans to send envoys to China and Russia to ask those two old friends of the North if they'll help resolve this crisis. A crisis that will grow worse if North Korea is determined to stick to its nuclear defiance. Mark Litke, ABC News, Seoul.
United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan is urging North Korea to cooperate with the UN's nuclear watchdog agency, and the U.S. is formulating its response. ABC's Tamla Edwards is with the president in Crawford, Texas tonight. Tam, publicly, the White House has been very quiet about all this. Privately, what are they saying?
Well, they're very careful about not letting this become Washington versus North Korea. And in fact, what they're hoping is that their Asian allies, Japan, China, and South Korea, take a lead here, saying that they might break diplomatic and economic ties. They also point to something that happened a few weeks ago, which was that a North Korean ship steaming towards Yemen was stopped with missiles. They say that could happen again, and this time the missiles may not be allowed to go to port, depriving North Korea of that funding.
Specifically, what are they asking the Asian allies to do economically to North Korea? Anything?
Well, what they're particularly doing is saying, looking at some of that economic aid, talking about perhaps reserving some diplomatic ties, things that would really put this starving nation on the ropes. As well, they're sending an envoy perhaps in the next few weeks to the region.
And the U.S. would love to see this go to the Security Council, I gather. Any moves along those lines?
Well, again, they're very careful about not wanting to be seen on the world stage as urging anything, but saying if that happens, they're not pushing it, but they wouldn't oppose it. Bob?
All right, Tam. Thank you very much. Tamla Edwards in Crawford, Texas tonight. More on all of this tomorrow on This Week with George Stephanopoulos. Secretary of State Colin Powell will be his guest. Now to Iraq, where the search for weapons has taken a new turn tonight. The U.S. has been pushing the UN to interview Iraqi scientists, hoping they will spill some secrets. Today, Baghdad complied and handed over a list of 500 names. ABC's Dan Harris reports from inside Iraq.
The UN weapons inspectors say they have the list in hand, but won't say when they'll start taking Iraqi scientists out of the country for questioning. The U.S. has been pushing hard for these out-of-country interviews.
We need a voice that is convincing to the world, and the best voice is an Iraqi voice, a scientist who clearly has worked on weapons of mass destruction and proves that Saddam Hussein's regime is lying.
But it might be difficult to get the scientists to actually leave Iraq. The UN admitted tonight it probably can't force them to do so if they refuse, and there are signs many scientists might do just that. The two Iraqi scientists who have already been interviewed by inspectors inside Iraq refused to do so without Iraqi officials present. One of them, Dr. Khadim Majbil, today accused the UN of publicly misrepresenting what he said during the interview. He also said he had refused to meet the inspectors at their headquarters because it reminds him of the U.S. military detention center in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
I look at this place as a Guantanamo camp. And I am not a prisoner. I am a free man, free Iraqi man.
U.S. officials have said they're worried the Iraqi government might intimidate scientists. Iraqi officials have said publicly that it's up to individual scientists to decide whether they want to leave the country. But they've also said they don't think this process is necessary, and one top official even pointedly said,
I will not go.
When the UN spokesman in Baghdad was asked about these concerns tonight, all he said was,
We'll see when the time comes.
As for where and how the interviews will be conducted, the inspectors will only say they're still working on it. Dan Harris, ABC News, Baghdad.
As part of the U.S. buildup for a possible war with Iraq, today in Florida, more than 1,300 Army National Guard and military police prepared to ship out. Yesterday, the Pentagon issued a deployment order to send significant ground forces, combat aircraft, and other support to the Persian Gulf. The 17th American killed in action in Afghanistan was laid to rest today. Sergeant Stephen Checco, a 22-year-old paratrooper, was killed in a firefight last week. Funeral services were held in New York. Thousands of America's unemployed workers will lose their benefits beginning tonight because lawmakers could not work out a compromise on how to extend them. And Congress is now home for the holidays. ABC's Lisa Sylvester is in Washington tonight. Lisa, I suspect the timing of this just could not be worse.
For 800,000 workers, this is a very tough holiday. Laid off from their jobs, they're now losing their unemployment benefits because Congress failed to act.
Linda Bissinger-Krall has been squeaking by on $362 a week in benefits. This is her last check.
I'm scared.
This mother of two was laid off as a manager of a Philadelphia department store in June. The same month, she separated from her husband.
We went from being a two-income household to a one-income household, and as of tomorrow, a no-income household.
In Philadelphia, where the unemployment rate is more than 7.5%, laid-off workers held a rally this week, urging Congress to act immediately when they return on January 7th.
We paid for the unemployment compensation. It came out of our checks, and now they're telling us that we're not entitled to what we paid for.
Democrats and Republicans agree something needs to be done, but there's no agreement on how long benefits should be extended and for whom. One Republican plan would extend benefits only to those who were cut off today. Any additional benefits beyond those would be limited to workers in states with the highest unemployment rates. Democrats have proposed a more expensive plan, giving virtually all laid-off workers an extra 13 weeks, even those whose benefits expired earlier this year.
Number one, these are not just statistics. These are families with children who want to work. Secondly, this is good for the economy.
As for Linda Bissinger-Krall, she has been polishing her resume and going on job interviews. She says all she needs is a little more time.
Until Congress acts, another 95,000 people will lose their unemployment benefits every week.
All right, Lisa. Lisa Sylvester live in Washington tonight. In tonight's national briefing, there has been a major pileup in Houston. At least 70 cars were involved in a chain reaction collision on the Sam Houston Tollway. Some of the vehicles burst into flames and at least 20 people were injured. Authorities and witnesses say thick fog is to blame for the crash. Thousands of homes are still in the dark in Seattle. Windstorms knocked out electricity to hundreds of thousands of people in the Puget Sound area. More rain is expected tomorrow and Monday. In San Bernardino, California, a fire in a small hotel killed 4 people, injuring 18 others. People were hanging out of the windows of the Sunset Hotel trying to escape the smoke and the heat. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday. Israel on edge. Renewed violence and the threat of war with Iraq raise tensions. The cost of insurance is driving some doctors away. And Italy's exiled royal family goes home for the first time in 50 years.
This is World News Tonight, Saturday. Brought to you by Buick.
Buick Holiday Bonus Cash makes this year-end the grand finale. The remarkable, versatile Buick Rendezvous, now with $3,000 total cash back. The affordable luxury of Century, the award-winning LeSabre, the power of Regal, all with $3,000 total cash back. Or choose 000 and still get holiday bonus cash. The year-end grand finale ends January 2nd.
Bayer would like you to know that American Heart Association research says women over 50 and men over 40 are at a greater risk for a heart attack. Age and other risk factors are why doctors often recommend aspirin. So remember Bayer. Aspirin has been proven to reduce the risk of a heart attack. Only Bayer has both low-strength 81 milligram and Bayer Women's Aspirin Plus Calcium.
Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Trust your heart to Bayer.
With Crest White Strips, the strip stays for 30 minutes, so it whitens 5 times better. Now we're talking. Crest White Strips. The secret to a whiter smile is in the strip.
Searching for the best way to treat your heartburn? Well, here's what the medical experts say. A panel from the AGA, the doctors who specialize in heartburn, has concluded the most effective of the non-prescription products is the combination of medicine found only in Pepcid Complete. It's the only one that starts working in seconds and lasts all day or all night. Call and give it a try. Maybe your search is over. Pepcid. Just one and heartburn's done.
In our overseas briefing this evening, the cleanup in Chechnya. The death toll from yesterday's suicide bombings in Grozny has risen to 57. More than 100 people were injured at the Russian government headquarters. Investigators say 2 trucks used to blow up the building had Russian army license plates, allowing them access to the building. A Brazilian oil tanker arrived in Venezuela today, bringing badly needed gasoline. A 28-day general strike has nearly shut down production in the world's 5th largest petroleum exporter. Japan's Emperor Akihito will undergo surgery for prostate cancer in Tokyo next month. Doctors say the 69-year-old emperor has a good chance for a full recovery. Crown Prince Naruhito will assume the emperor's duties if necessary. Tensions in the Middle East are high tonight. Israelis are on edge after a week of violence with the Palestinians, and there is increasing anxiety over the possibility of a war with Iraq. ABC's John Yang reports from Jerusalem.
In the West Bank today, Israeli soldiers destroyed the house of an Islamic Jihad militant. Authorities suspect he was one of 2 Palestinians who attacked a seminary dining hall at an Israeli settlement last night. Armed with rifles and grenades, they killed 4 students and wounded 10 others before being killed themselves. And in Bethlehem today, Palestinian students clashed with Israeli soldiers near Bethlehem University. The incidents ended a week in which Israeli forces killed 9 Palestinians in a single day in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. All of this violence shattered a month of relative calm ending one of the longest lulls since the current conflict began 2 years ago. Tonight, Israelis are on edge once again. Israeli officials say the month-long pause was not as quiet as you might think. They say the military thwarted 21 attacks in that time.
By no means is there a decline in the motivation or the declarations of the Palestinian terrorists to try and hit as many Israeli civilians as possible.
This week, anxious Israelis also prepared for possible Iraqi missile attacks if the United States goes to war with Iraq. That polls published this week show Israelis are almost twice as afraid of the threat from their Palestinian neighbors as from Iraq.
Maybe Iraq will shoot something, but the Palestinian is more day-to-day.
Tonight, the Israeli army is once again enforcing curfews for nearly 500,000 Palestinians in more than 20 West Bank cities. John Yang, ABC News, Jerusalem.
In India, New Delhi's new subway system is so popular it's giving officials headaches. On opening day this week, more than 1 million people used it, 6 times what it is designed to carry. It has been packed ever since. Officials have placed ads asking people not to take pleasure trips. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday. Doctors in pain. Malpractice insurance rates are so high, doctors are threatening to walk.
No, no.
It's a beautiful morning.
Ask your doctor about Vioxx, a prescription medicine from Merck. And find out if Vioxx is right for you. Vioxx.
Obviously, somebody knows about the Burlington Coat Factory once-in-a-lifetime after Christmas sale. At these prices, you can afford a whole new wardrobe. 10 of them. Now save up to 60% off Burlington Coat Factory prices, which are less than department store sale prices to begin with. Get the hottest famous labels for the whole family and your home. At prices so low, you'll find reasons to buy more. Burlington Coat Factory. It's more than great coats.
For most anything that ails your stomach this season, give it peace and goodwill with Pepto-Bismol.
Had it with itching, flaking, dandruff? You need the Neutrogena T-Gel Power of 3. Unlike ordinary medicated shampoos, T-Gel works on all 3 major scalp conditions. Dermatologists recommend it number 1. Stop the itching and flaking. Switch to Neutrogena T-Gel. It works.
I'm up, but this arthritis.
The moment of choice. Tylenol or Advil for arthritis pain.
Advil's my choice.
Advil liquid gels rush long-lasting relief where you need it. Gentle on your stomach, too. For fast relief, advance to Advil.
Bye-bye.
I should have used Preparation H.
Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact.
Buick Holiday Bonus Cash makes this year end the grand finale. The remarkable, versatile Buick Rendezvous. Now with $3,000 total cash back. The affordable luxury of Century. The award-winning LeSabre. The power of Regal. All with $3,000 total cash back. Or choose 000 and still get holiday bonus cash. The year-end grand finale ends January 2nd.
Oscar winners Robin Williams, Sally Field, and Pierce Brosnan. In the story of a dad who's not quite himself. Surprise! Mrs. Doubtfire, ABC Tonight, 8/7 Central.
Tonight, Pennsylvania is the latest state facing a crisis over medical malpractice insurance. 60% of the state's doctors must renew their policies by New Year's Day. Last year, insurance cost doctors a total of $6.3 billion nationwide, and rates are up an average 20% this year. ABC's John Berman reports.
Dr. John Doherty has practiced in Scranton for 22 years. He is one of 15 orthopedic surgeons working in Lackawanna County. Next week, there might be none.
After the first of the year, there would be essentially no orthopedic treatment available.
In Pennsylvania, the cost for some medical malpractice insurance has risen up to 100% in the last 2 years. Premiums can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That hurt? Yeah.
Dozens of doctors in the county say they can't afford it and will stop performing surgeries if nothing is done. Patients are scared.
I couldn't imagine driving my son with a broken, busted-up shoulder to Allentown, 2 hours away.
Local emergency rooms fear being inundated with people they can't help.
We're really in trouble. We are trying to figure out contingency plans where we're going to send sick patients. In a very short period of time, we'll not have the doctors in this city to take care of them, and we're nervous.
Pennsylvania is, in our opinion, undergoing a meltdown right now.
The new president of the American Medical Association says Pennsylvania is one of 12 states in the midst of an insurance crisis.
When a patient is in shock as a result of an automobile accident, when a woman is in labor and she cannot find a physician to deliver her baby, that's how we define a crisis.
The insurance industry says even with the rate hikes, they are losing money. The real problem, they say, is trial lawyers and jury awards that are unreasonable.
We have the who wants to be a millionaire mentality, and $1 million is not a lot of money anymore to a jury.
Lawyers say they are protecting their clients from bad doctors. But doctors like John Doherty say the system now leaves them no way to make ends meet.
I don't think I can work any harder, see any more patients.
Pennsylvania's incoming governor has set up an emergency task force looking for solutions to keep Pennsylvania's doctors working. John Berman, ABC News, New York.
Chicago Mayor Richard Daley will be spending another night in the hospital. The mayor and his wife were admitted yesterday after contracting what appears to be a stomach flu. Both were dehydrated. His wife, Maggie, also cracked a rib when she fainted. She was discharged today. Texas put more people to death this year than any other state. A study by an anti-death penalty group found Texas executed 33 people, more than double the number executed there last year. Only 13 states used capital punishment this year, the lowest number since 1993. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday, Italy's royals return to Rome after a half-century in exile.
Okay, see how the side of the rails warm more than the other side?
Felt like a million. Felt like number one. Like a rock.
What are you handing down to your kids? Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
I try to swim a couple laps every morning, but never the long way, just from here to there.
I did an all-garlic diet. Lost some friends that way.
Well, I was on a, it's called like 1 meal a day diet. Terrible diet, because at midnight, every night I was eating the next meal.
If these people can lose weight, so can you. A university study found that replacing 2 meals a day with a bowl of Special K or Smart Start cereals for 2 weeks could help you lose up to 6 pounds. Diet and exercise are important parts of a healthy lifestyle.
Quick diets, the olive oil diet. You're not on that one long.
Hey, I guess somebody's had a busy day today. Well, make sure back pain doesn't cramp your schedule tomorrow. Grab a Thermacare air-activated heat wrap before you hit the sack. It gets warm and stays warm, deeply relaxing tight muscles. So circulation flows in, helping pain flow out. So, by the next day, you're moving and grooving. Oh yeah, all day long. Thermacare heat wraps. Find them in the pain reliever aisle.
We'll see you in the morning, sweetie.
You, in the mood?
Always.
Introducing Pillsbury's biggest cookie ever. New Big Deluxe Classics. 2 kinds of chocolate, 1 big cookie. With luscious, semi-sweet morsels and gooey milk chocolate chips, you just have to give in.
Hey, what are you doing?
New Big Deluxe Classics from Pillsbury. Go on, give in.
My heart to yours.
The powerful new Silverado is here. Still available with the 340-horse Vortec V8.
Garcia and the Niners take on the upset-hungry Rams in a season-ending clash of division rivals.
Michael Van Madden are here for Monday night.
Recapping tonight's top stories, the nuclear standoff with North Korea is intensifying tonight. Responding to pressure from North Korea, the International Atomic Energy Agency says it will pull nuclear inspectors out of the country by New Year's Eve. And Baghdad today handed over the names of 500 scientists who may have had experience with weapons of mass destruction. Finally tonight, the House of Savoy used to rule Italy, but no male heir has been allowed in the country since the family was exiled a half-century ago, until this week. ABC's Richard Gisbert reports.
He calls himself a commoner now, but the man who went to the Vatican this week to meet the Pope was once heir to the Italian throne. Victor Emmanuel of Savoy, his wife, and his son presented John Paul with 2 books on their family. It was the first time in more than half a century that Victor Emmanuel had set foot in the land his ancestors once ruled.
It is a step forward in the sense that we must overcome differences which now belong to the past.
The House of Savoy, Italy's royal family, was sent into exile 56 years ago, just after World War II. The new Italian Republic banned the family for its support of Benito Mussolini and his alliance with Adolf Hitler. The king left for Switzerland with his 9-year-old son, Victor Emmanuel, who is now 65 and has long since lobbied for the family's return. This year, he renounced any claim to the throne. The Italian parliament then passed a law allowing the Savoys back, but only as commoners. I have come back to Rome after 56 years, he said on arrival at the airport, and I cannot find words to express my feelings. The visit received lots of play on the newscasts and was welcomed by Italian monarchists. There aren't many of them, but they can be found at the Pantheon in Rome, guarding the tombs of the country's former kings. They take it all very seriously, unlike Victor Emmanuel's son, Emmanuel, who long before he had ever been to the country appeared on Italian TV in an olive commercial.
Sua bontà.
But even non-monarchists now admit it was time to end the royal family's exile.
Because of the Savoy name, they could also become again a symbol of national unity. I'm personally Republican, but their place in history cannot be, of course, denied.
This first visit lasted just a few hours, but the once future king says he'll be back in a few months. Like anyone else who doesn't know Italy, he says, he wants to see Venice. Richard Gisbert, ABC News, London.
From olive commercials to all that. And that is our report tonight. I'm Bob Woodruff. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
Sunday, it's a nuclear standoff. What happens next with North Korea? Plus, Al Franken and George Will. Together, hold on tight for This Week, Sunday.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now traveling to all 50 states in 50 weeks in search of America.
They live on LA's mean streets. This February, they'll meet their match.
LAPD, I'm Detective Friday, my partner, Detective Smith.
From the creator of Law and Order.
You're under arrest for narcotics!
Am I good or what? Ed O'Neill and Ethan Embry.
Don't play games.
Dragnet, coming in February to ABC.
You can light up the holiday sky and illuminate the lives of families in need. Light the house. The spectacular holiday light display from the Unico U.S. Bank Tower raises funds for the Ronald McDonald Houses of Portland. Show your support by purchasing any cookie at any McDonald's restaurant in the Portland, Vancouver area. Proceeds go to the Ronald McDonald House, a home away from home for families with seriously ill children.
Show your spirit. Light a bulb and brighten a life.
Please help us light the house.
Why search for a car in the classifieds when you can't even see the car? Find your next car now at KATU.com. Portland's largest online selection of used cars with actual dealership photos. Pick the make, pick the model. See it before you buy it. KATU.com even gives you auto financing options and lemon checks. So cut out the classifieds. Search Portland's
today and enjoy a hot, hearty, delicious bowl of soup with your favorite sandwich. Subway.
Eat fresh.
Enter the ageless future with Perfectionist, an anti-aging discovery from Estee Lauder. Fast, gentle, retinol-free. Day 1, fine, dry lines are reduced. Week 1, deep lines look lifted away. Month 1, the future is ageless. Perfectionist, correcting serum for lines and wrinkles. Now at Meyer and Frank.
Announcing the final days of Chevy's year-end event.
It's your last chance.
Maybe we'll stick to what we do best. Now get $3,000 total cash back on the 2003 Avalanche and Silverado during the year-end event. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on 2003 Chevy SUVs.
Just go because when I'm bad, we're so bad.
Hurry, cashback ends January 2nd. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Exhilarating, powerful, luxurious. Now, the next big thing from Nissan, our national year-end event. 0.9 financing and $1,000 cash back on the 2003 Nissan Maxima. So, what's next? Just the end date. 0.9 and $1,000 cash back ends January 6th.
Mondays got you down.
Monday.
Let CBS pick you up with America's funniest night of television. The King of Queens.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. Everybody loves Raymond. And still standing.
Let the adoring begin. Monday. Can't miss that day. Oh, people sound like maniacs. It's here to stay.
Don't miss CBS Monday.
It's all here.
Wayne Coleman and Dave Erickson, weekdays on KOIN 6 News.